Hello lovies, thanks for joining me today. Let's get started with this tutorial. I hope you enjoy. First off, this face needs some help. I've already moisturized my face with the Clinique Moisture Surge and Tints. For some added hydration, I'm also using the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Marine Boosting Mist. To prime my skin, I'm using the Marc Invisible Undercover Perfecting Coconut Face Primer. This is going to help my foundation to stay all day and also moisturize my dry skin. Next, I'm using the Benefit PoreFessional to fill in and blur my pores. I'm only applying this where my pores are large and where I need some smoothing. I apply this with my fingers and I gently pat it into the skin. And now for those pesky dark circles. I'm using the Pixi by Petra Correction Concentrate in Awakening Apricot to help color correct my dark circles and any other discoloration. I'm applying this using the Lamora Precision Round SO2 brush, and I'm only using a very thin layer. To conceal some of my redness, I am using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Redness Neutralizing Correcting Cream. I am buffing it into my skin using a Morphe E6 brush. A tiny bit of this stuff goes a very long way, so I am using a very small amount. Today I'm using the Clinique Acne Solutions BB Cream, and I am mixing the shades Light and Light Medium together. I'm applying it with a damp beauty blender, but any sponge will do. Don't let the Acne Solutions in the name fool you. As you can see, I don't have acne. This formula helps control oil, has a UVA UVB protection, is fragrance-free, and is specially formulated for acne-prone skin. I absolutely love this formula and it applies flawlessly with the beauty blender. Gives great coverage even for just being a BB cream. To add a bit of brightness to my under eyes, I'm applying the Pixi by Petra Correcting Concentrate, only this one is in the shade Brightening Peach. Using a dampened beauty blender, I am applying a thin layer and the sponge shears it out nicely. Oh man, I forgot to moisturize my lips. Today I'm using the Victoria's Secret Balm Tint in Pink Sugar. Now to conceal and highlight. Today I'm using the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in Medium 1, Custard, under my eyes. Then I'm adding the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral. I put this on all the high points of my face to highlight. I then blend all of this out using a dampened beauty blender. To set my concealer, I'm taking the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder and applying it under my eyes using a Morphe G8 brush. Prior to setting, I do take my beauty blender and make sure I don't have any creasing going on under those eyes. To set the rest of my face, I'm using the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation and a Morphe E2 brush. I use a very small amount of the powder to set my face, and I press the powder in with the brush. Next, I'm going to contour using my Hoola bronzer by Benefit, and I'm applying it with the Morphe E48 brush. I love the Hoola bronzer, it is a perfect shade to contour with. I apply this to the hollows of my cheeks and along the perimeter of my face, along the hairline. Really adds dimension to your face and puts some color back in as well. Now I'm going to apply bronzer, and I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof Bronzer in the shade Park Avenue Princess. I am taking a Morphe E4 brush and placing the bronzer wherever I applied the contour. This adds warmth back into the face and a little bit of a glow. For blush, I'm using one of my favorites, the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso, and I am applying it with the Morphe E52 brush. This blush is a beautiful peachy shade that any skin tone can wear. It has a stunning, soft, radiant glow to it. And now my favorite part, the highlight. As always, I'm using my current obsession, the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. I love to apply this using a Morphe E27 brush. Once the face is done, I like to go in with a large fluffy brush. Here I'm using the Morphe E2 again, and I like to quickly go over everything and blend. Brows are now on thanks to editing, and the face is done. So I'm going to go in to the eyes. I'm starting with the Morphe 350 palette. I'm going into this light tan color with the Coastal Scents BR250 brush, and I'm applying this to my crease. I'm blending it out so there are no harsh lines. Going back into the 350 palette in the same brush, I'm picking up some of the darker brown shade and applying it to the crease on top of the first shade, but not quite as high up. Again, blend, blend, blend. Now I'm taking a Morphe M332 brush and picking up an even darker brown and once again going into the crease and gradually darkening it up. This time, I'm also applying the product to the outer V of my eyelid, making sure to keep this color as close to the crease as possible and dragging some color on the inner corner of my lid as well. I'm going back into the 350 palette and I'm taking this small domed Coastal Scents brush and picking up some of this very dark, deep chocolate brown shade. I'm focusing this color on the outer and inner corners of my eyelids and dragging the shadow between the two to connect them. A halo eye, if you will. Deepening that brown until the desired deepness is achieved. I'm going back in with the Morphe M332 with no product on it, and I am blending those edges. Always blend, blend, blend. Using the same Coastal Scents domed brush, I'm picking up this more cool tone dark brown, and I'm deepening up the outer and inner corners even further. And again, going back in with the Morphe M332, without any product on it, I am blending again to smooth the edges. Blend, blend, blend. Now to highlight the brow bone, I'm picking up this light peachy matte shade from the same 350 palette and applying it using a Coastal Scents BR-CN12 brush. I'm using the Maybelline Better Skin Concealer in a small flat brush to highlight the center of my eyelid. I'm not doing a cut crease here, but the concealer gives the next shadow something to stick to and lets the true color really pop. Now I'm going into the Morphe 35B palette and using this Coastal Scents BRC-N02 flat shader brush, and I'm picking up this deep dark navy blue shade. I'm applying this shade to the center of my eyelids, directly on top of the concealer. I am blending the edges as I go and building up that blue until the desired darkness is achieved. I am going back in with that small domed Coastal Scents brush and I am blending the edges even further. Going back into the 35B palette in the same flat shader brush, I'm picking up this icy blue shade and I'm applying this right on top of the navy blue we laid down. And again, I'm going back in with the domed Coastal Scents brush and I am darkening up the inner and outer corners a bit until I get the desired darkness. Gotta love that blend. Now I'm taking the NYX Love You So Mochi palette in Electric Pastels because I wanted a bit more sparkle on the center of my lids. So with the same flat shader brush, I'm picking up these two light blue colors and mixing them together and placing them on top of the blue shade in the center of my eyelids. And now we take a dance break. When a good song comes on, you can't help but feel that beat. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Okay, back to finishing up the eyes. I'm taking the light brown shade we started with in the same blending brush, and I'm applying it to the lower lash line. Then I'm taking the M332 and the darker brown shade and applying it to the lower lash line as well. Then finally I'm using this Morphe E36 brush in the darkest brown shade, and I'm applying that to the lower lash line to finish off the eye look. I'm then tightlining my upper lash line with the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon in Black Ore, making sure to get between every little lash. I'm applying Jane Cosmetics Water Resistant Eyeliner in the shade Sky Blue in my waterline for a pop of color. This color actually ended up matching the blue on my lid perfectly. And again, had to do more blending. This brush does not have any product on it. But who else loves the blend? I could blend for days. I did my liner off camera and used the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. This is my favorite eyeliner ever. Now to curl my lashes. I put a quick coat of L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara on and applied the Ardell 105 lashes off camera. Face and eyes are done. I love the way the eyes turned out. For lip liner, I'm using the MAC Lip Pencil in Soar and used the Bite Beauty Matte Cream Lip Crayon in Glaze. That's it for this glam look. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!